microphone. I gotta adjust the microphone here. Unknown device now. Okay, let's see. One second. Headphones. Okay, this microphone should be the right one. Headset mic. Okay, boys. The music. See, they're liking the music there. Let's check the microphone, guys. If someone can tell me if you guys hear me pretty good. Actually, I'm gonna put the volume up. Does it work pretty good? It's too high, right? Too high. Let's try like that. It's too loud. Let's try like that. What about now? It's me that speak loud. I'm Italian. Ora meglio. Okay. All right. So, are you sure? Yes. There was the track of my friend, and that's why I put it. If you want to check him out, Many Tuletti above on SoundCloud. Anyways, let's start to see something here. Okay, sounds good. Keep checking the audio. Okay, so what I wanted to do today, just as I do every time, an overview of Bitcoin. And then we just check some altcoins. I mean, not the altcoins one by one, but just the overall altcoin market, I guess. We had a discussion today in the chat channel regarding logarithmic scale and linear scale. So I'm gonna go through that. Actually, I'm gonna move the logo here to the side. Because here it's where you select the log scale and non-log scale. So there is a big difference, and you can check in my channel Crypto Vince on Telegram, and you can search linear versus log, and that's where I kind of explain the differences. But you guys can see, if I check the overall chart of BTC, how weird it is. I mean, you see a huge spike here when, if I click a logarithmic scale and I click auto, of course, you see it's more a straight line. And you can see more stuff. Of course, the logarithmic scale doesn't distort the chart when I'm trying to see patterns, and I want to see the pump and dump of BTC. For example, if I trace 130% at this level, and I want to trace 130%, let's say, on this other level, 35%, like that, the height of those two rectangles are the same. So it doesn't matter if I trace it 130% profit at the bottom here when the price was 200, and I trace another 135% at this level, the rectangle will be the same in logarithmic scale. But if I remove logarithmic scale, look at what happens. So as you can see, the two rectangles are both under 35%, but in this case it doesn't look like they are the same percentage, but it looks like here I'm gaining more percentage. Plus, we see this huge spike that in the logarithmic scale doesn't show. So this is the main difference. Plus the straight trend lines that I can draw from BTC. So I can trace this straight line right here, and I can trace this trend line right there. Let's say if I click on linear scale, so I remove the logarithmic scales, you can see those lines are totally messed up. Why is that? Because this line becoming they become parabolic when I post a linear scale. So instead of a line, this thing should be what is it? Kind of a parabola here, right there. More a parabola. And I mean, you guys can see those difference in the if you find on Google. As you can see, this parabola now, you know, I'm not tracing it precise as I can, but if I put the log scale, the parabola almost becomes a straight line. You see, if I want to adjust this and I make this straight, when I click a log scale, that become a parabolic line, trend line. Okay. The other difference is, you can see this even in the Dow Jones and other stock market. It's used more in stock market, but we use in crypto when the prices are super high. Because when the price is super high, we see a difference in logarithmic scale and linear scale. But we use on Bitcoin, like we have to use it on Bitcoin, and then I will explain why. There is a big reason why I decided to switch to logarithmic scale, because I've seen a few things that look much better in logarithmic scale. Let me see here. This is Dow Jones, and as you can see, if I trace the overall idea, this is pretty much a straight line. And if I trace, I want to trace with the actually let me trace actually I'm gonna go a linear scale and you can see pretty much how it quickly changes. I don't know if I can take more space. I want to give you a better idea. And there, so you can see that it becomes more a parabolic curve when it's on a linear scale. I'm not being precise right now, I just want to show something. When I click log, it becomes almost straight. You see that? So, and that happens because the chart, you know, if we go on Google and we just we just click linear versus log scale, we kind of can see that. See, this is logarithmic scale, and the same data in linear scale, a parabolic curve appears. So there are some differences. Now, when we chart coins that are very low in price, that won't change too much. So this is why I use linear or log scale. Doesn't matter when I'm charting coins that are so low in price, because the log of the coins in small amount is very doesn't make any difference. And what is it? I don't know if I can find an example here. um can't find it what I want. I don't know if this is it. But that's an idea, like the numbers are equally spaced when we have a linear scale. When in the logarithmic scale, they become always more close to each other. But you know, you guys can search by this on Google. There is lots of stuff. I just wanted to make sure you understood some of the difference. But for now, let's go on BTC and let's just chart the resistance that we have right now on both scale, and we see the differences. I want to check the difference with you. Okay, so let's put two of them. That, and this is set. Okay, so this is log. And this is linear scale. Okay. So what does change? Well, for sure the resistances can change quite a bit. So let's remove all the indicators here. This is 1 day. Let's put 1 day here. Let's make all the same. Okay. So before I was tracing with linear. Where did it go? Of course it went down. Oh no, I removed it. Okay, I gotta go back 1 second. Yeah, I remove all the indicators. Now I cannot tell you which one it is. Let me write it back quick. This is, let's put linear scale here, and this is log scale. Okay, so I was tracing on linear scale, and when I was at this level, right here, I was tracing Bitcoin and everything looked okay. What I mean by that I trace a Fibonacci from the last spike. This is the reason I use Equinashi candles, because I can really see the up and downs pretty good. For example, if I put Equinashi normal candles in this chart, candles, you can see the difference, how many times I see red candles that can trick me, and they can, you know, make a fail crash or a fail bull run. So I always use Equinashi candles, so I have a better vision, to be honest, on when the crash is really happening. Okay, and in this case I don't see red candles up to here in the daily chart, and here it's when I sell BTC. But if I'm looking at normal candles, I would panic right here, I would panic right here, I would panic right here probably, and so on. So this is the reason why I use Equinashi. That's it. That's my way to chart. You guys can use whatever you want. Now, if I traced a trend line, they connect the first 2 points here, this and that, the first 2 resistances. One do, what happens? I need to find probably a third one that is strong, that confirm the trend, right? Usually, you know, 3 points in the chart are a good confirmation of trend, and that was the third one, right? So by looking at BTC, of course, if we're looking just a linear scale, we keep watching, and boom, we broke, parties on, and so on. Okay, so here everyone thought Bitcoin was changing direction, and some traders might have bought lots of Bitcoin in that case. But what happened? There was a fake breakout, and then happened that BTC dropped again and it didn't even found support, to be honest, on the line, not that much. It kept dropping, and now it found support on the line, and now it's going. So for me, this is a little bit confusing, and this is the reason why I moved to log scale. The log scale, if I trace the same point that I traced here, sorry, I trace on the other line, I connect those 2 points. So the main point right here, what happens is that, as you can see, this point is not a third one. Okay, actually let me trace closer. Okay, this is like CEXCIO chart, kind of might be a little bit different, but of course now I'm a 1-day chart. I can cheat a little bit. Of course I cannot cheat like this because I cut candles off, but I'm gonna go like this with the weeks. And what happens, this is not even a point in consideration, that it didn't quite arrive there. So BTC didn't try to break at that level. Probably there was some Fibonacci resistance there or something. Actually, let's check Fibonacci, let's see what's there. And as you can see, that's a perfect Fibonacci, 61% Fibonacci, right? Percentage prices. Actually, let's remove price there. Okay, so at that level, BTC stopped because if he encountered a Fibonacci level. That's the reason why, and even because here there was lots of resistance too. And as we know, that's a point that we have to keep in mind, because BTC tried to break that point lots of time, and that's about 11k 12k kind of level, and that's an important resistance to be broken. Sorry, my English. Anyways, when we focus on charts, we need to really consider all kinds of resistance and supports, not just the trend, not just the Fibonacci, not just the resistance and support. There are so many indicators in other patterns and tools that traders use in order to find resistance, in order to find what are those resistance, are pretty much the point of exit. That's all they are, and the support are sometimes the point of entry, right? So in this case, now I'm gonna try it to find another resistance there. I don't know if I'm gonna find it, but sometimes can be a moving average. Let's try one moving average, a normal one. Let's put let's say 100 days. Some traders can be looking these 100 days, not quite there. Maybe so it's not the moving average 100. Let's see 200, see where he is. I think 200 is pretty low. Yeah, pretty low. Let's see the 50 where it ends up. Here we go. By magic, as you can see, and this is live, I'm trying here to find stuff. I'm not, I didn't chart before. So as you can see right there, look where the week stops. Perfect and moving average 50 in this case, and this is the reason why when I trade stuff I use all the moving averages, and if I start to see things, actually let me put this big because I explained already why I'm gonna use this chart, because it touches here. The 3 points I see now are those 1, 2, 3, and right there it touches right on the line and it bounces back, compared to, so this point here is this one, okay, is this one, and that one was far off. So that's the reason why I'm going with the log scale, because it shows me the truth, it shows me where it actually dumped, and probably most of the whales, the traders, or whoever it is are looking at this scale, and we're coming here, and that will be a crucial point. But before talking about that point, I was explaining, you know, some resistance and support. Moving average 50 didn't work very well in the previous pattern. For example, here found there was a nice support right there, so it touched the moving average of 50, went back up. But you know, if we add other indicators, remember, moving average is not just moving average. We have a moving average exponential, we have this smoothed moving average, and we have so many. So let's check the 100. You know, those should be basic concept. You know, I'm just explaining in a simple way. For example, moving average 100, it worked as a support many times, as you guys can see here, you guys can see here, and you guys can see here. It bounced off and then it broke, okay? And you know, since then it never went up moving average 100, okay? You see that? So that moving average probably will be another confirmation of bullish trend. So when we break this resistance, main resistance, and then we break moving average 100, well, that probably will be pretty good to see that. Now let's put 200. It doesn't tell me too much. What's the other moving average? It looked pretty cool. Smoothed moving average. Where are you? Yeah. So smoothed moving average 200 is the one that I've been talking about for so long, and it's the one that worked pretty good as a support in the long run, of course. So this was one of the bounce we've seen, and this was some of the fighting there. You know, the trend arrived there, tried to break down, and it didn't, and that's why it went up. Because you know, the thing you need to understand and try to figure it out on your own when you do the charting is why the trend stopped there, right? You need to find a point where the trend will stop. And if I didn't have those lines, the only things I see at this level is this support right here, and which is 100 Fibonacci level, and it didn't arrive there. And even this, it didn't arrive there. And, you know, we know that usually Fibonacci level, as you can see in the trend bounces off every Fibonacci level. It bounces off here, it goes to 23, then it goes to 50, breaks, goes to 61, then it didn't go to 78 here. Why? Probably because there is some moving average there that I don't know which one. In this case, I can't find it, but there has to be something there. Okay, or you know, there are some supports and so on that we need to find in order to buy back. That's the reason why. And you know, if we didn't have these 200 as smoothed moving average, we never knew this was gonna bounce here. and here again. Now there is another moving average. I think it's the simple moving average, 365, which is 1 year. That looks pretty good too, and it's the one that's keeping these things up. Okay, so this is moving average 365. You know, it's another moving average, and let's see when he broke. Right here at this level was down, but you know, then we cannot see too much. But that's another idea. You know, it bounced off right on 365. You know, it's pretty positive, to be honest, at this level. Now let's go back and let's analyze more close our BTC. Let's remove all drawing tools. Let's leave the moving average right there. Let's put our trend line right there. Yeah, right there. I cheat a little bit when I do my trend line, but I never cut the candles. I always you know, use the wicks, because the wicks for me, it's a point where the price arrived there. You know, just if the wicks is very super long, I won't consider it. Actually, I go check closer in, you know, 15-minute chart. If I see a wick that's still long in 15-minute chart, I won't consider the wick as part of the trend, because probably the price just arrived there for a few seconds and then came back up. But you know, those wicks are all good. I don't understand when people trace the candles. Like, has no sense for me. Anyways, let's go check closer. Let's see our indicator first. First of all, MACD is the indicator I love, and then I look at RSI. So check MACD. So MACD is crossing, it's pretty low, it's pointing up, is super bullish at this level. It's still below zero. You see a bullish cross here. So far we're looking good in the 1-day chart. You know, it's always good to look at the 1-day chart, because that's the main one, the one that, you know, tell us the long idea, the long scenario. It looks pretty good. It still needs to go above zero level. So far so good. And from the MACD, we can see kind of an Elliott wave pattern, if you want. Not perfect, but this is what I'm looking at, an ABC correction that might happen again, and this is an ABC correction that where C is higher than A. As you might know, ABC correction are different. No, they don't have to be ABC where C is below everything, you know. ABC corrections. I posted this a few times, but we have a flat ABC, we have zigzag ABC. Where is the one I'm looking for? BCDE. Well, there is the one that where C is higher. I can't find it right now. It was here, I remember. But anyways, there the ABC can be in, you know, any kind of way. Of course, MACD shows this kind of an ABC, but in the pattern, ABC at this moment, it's a flat one. So we might consider this as an ABC. Of course, it can go down, no problem, you know. We always need to consider both scenario in BTC. You know, we know it. right now we're still in the correction mode. We are not in a bull run. Yes, we had a nice spike up, and everything looks good for now, but you know, even here, I was checking my collaboration channel today, and our followers traced a spike here of this bullish run. This was, let's check, 100% up right there, and it dropped how much? 45% to where was there was a this one from year to year. How much this is? 20% right there. And 20%. 20% right there, 20%. I don't remember where it right here on top of here, I think. So this was 35%. So we were, in this case, for example, we had a bullish run, and then the trend stopped after 35%, kind of. So yeah, 35%. So in this case too, if we trace from the base of the week to the top of the trend, you know, it's 30%, almost the same as this one. And let's check this other one too. This is a little bit less. But when I want to show you that it doesn't mean we went up 30% and we have to break. You know, these things can go down, can bounce there, and it can go down. Or if we breaks, where this will be what we're looking for, you know, a nice break will probably cause a huge pump of BTC, as we know, we have seen in the past. You know, every time Bitcoin finished the correction, and we have all cases here, right? This was a correction, 30%, and then boom, he went all the way up to 250% up. Then we had a crash of 40%, and then from the crash we went up 170%. Okay, then we had a crash of 40%, and we went up 500%. Actually, there is a little crash here too. I would like to consider like 150. Then we had another crash here, 30%, and then we went up like 300%. Okay, so if these things kind of stops here in proportion with this huge correction that was 70%, we should go to the moon, right? Let's check if I can trace some extension or Fibonacci of this crash. Yeah, 423. He did all of it. You can go. Correction here. 423 arrived there, and then I have this little correction here. Man, this is like too small. But anyways, what I want to show you that if I trace all the correction and I want to find my point up, you know, my 423 will be probably at 70K. Of course, before to arrive there, we need to arrive at, how much is this? 29, you know, between 30 and 25k, you know, that will be the next pump if we break that resistance, right? Now this is one of the cases. Of course, if we go down, and you know, chances are 50-50, to be honest. Like this moving average is pretty strong. That's the things that makes me think about a little bit more bullish, right? A little bit more than 50%. But we have the dead cross. That cross, it's an indicators that tell me that the trend, which is the bearish trend, is confirmed. So by looking at that, I'm a little bit more bearish. So moving average are hard to find because, you know, sorry, the dead crosses are to find because we have so many moving averages. But by just using the simple one, and we use the moving averages that everyone use when we're looking at the cross, 250, and as you guys can see, red, the cross is there, right, at this point. So you know, that's not a good indicator for sure. So we need to like see those moving average come to cross together and see a golden cross. In that case, there will be a confirmation of changing trend. Okay, now let's see what else can we look at. I said the MACD looked pretty solid at the one-day chart. RSI, you know, it's pointing up. It's pretty bullish right now, but it doesn't tell us too much. Let's check the oversold area. So the oversold area, let's remove this MACD for now. The oversold area that I can see in the trend are those ones. So this is oversold, yeah, a little bit. Let's just cheat a little bit. Those one. So what happened in all this situation? As you guys can see, if I trace pointing in, they match with those RSI oversold area right there and right there. We have, let's put auto on. No, I don't want auto on. As you can see, look, you know, I trace just by looking at the RSI. Okay, so we see it's the bottom of every crash, right? And after the oversold area, boom, 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 we've seen nice pumps after those points. See, boom, 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 and okay, so right here we might see another one. Why not? You know, and pretty cool to see that. So I'm expecting to see, hopefully, you know, breaking the level at this point. After 1, 2, 3 times, it's time probably to break. Now, you know, I'm looking for indicators and signals that tell me we will break, and it's pretty hard, to be honest, but the altcoin market are so bottom down, or I don't know how you say in English, but they're at the bottom, that, and they are on a reversal mode. So damn, it has to break, man. Like how low they can go. Let me just grab some coins for fun. You will see the same exact charts for every single coin. Okay, so look at this pattern here. You know, there was a pump, there was a crash, find kind of the bottom, and they're going up. Every one looks identical. BTS, by the way, here it's looking amazing. I don't care about RSI, very high. Is not an indicator of selling for me, because RSI, when it's high, people can hold. MACD will be probably low. Amazing. MACD turning up 0. So as you guys can see, all coins are in the same kind of pattern. I don't know, this one, this was an old one. Okay, look at that. Every coin is on reversal. Ion. So you know, only thing that can happen, yes, they can crash again, and we will have you know, a triangle pattern, you know, something like that, where the coin will go here and then crash back down again if Bitcoins drop. But you know, I don't know, man, it's hard to see. What is it? QSP. This is my old chart. I don't know why it didn't change it. Of course, it's breaking right now. This is log chart. See, this is a perfect example. This is a quantum stamp. The prices are so low that even though I change from log scale to linear scale, I see no difference. But in Bitcoins, I see a huge difference. Okay. And again, as I say in the channel, these patterns remind me the same bullish run that we had in the altcoin market around November and December. And you know, we know what happened then. Okay, I don't need to show the pumps, because we know which pumps I'm talking about. DGB around December, every coin looked like this. Okay, every coin looked like this. Accumulation zone. Every single coin looked like this. And what happened? They had a pump. Not a huge pump as before, but they had a pump. We were all rich in December, 1000%. Okay, I can show more. Stratus. We know the pump, accumulation zone right there, and pump. I don't want to show more, you know, pretty much all Bittrex coin were doing that. Just CVC didn't do nothing, but burst. Check a burst. Where was it? December. See, accumulation zone. You see that? Boom, pump. Now it's doing again. It's doing again. So it's very hard to understand if we are pumping for real. The real confirmation will be BTC breaking the log main resistance, because you know, we had a failed breakout here too, right? We went up and then we crashed, and these things can happen again, especially in this chart. A burst can actually arrive here and then crash and do the same. But let's check a few other coins. Power, pot. Let's see pot, what it did. See pot arrived at the bottom and it's going up again. Mare. Those are two new coin that don't tell me too much. But you know what I mean. You know, an altcoin party can really be close. Neblio breaking, oh, not the scale. It's breaking here, another resistance. Anyways, yeah, it's exciting, but as Diana said, you know, I don't know. I'm not putting, you know, my word here that we will see an altcoin party. For sure, coins are at the bottom, and that's for sure. Except, you know, those new ones like Ncash or One Chain, those, you know, hyped coins that just came into the market right now, and you know, they are in a different situation. But all other coins are at the bottom. If you find coins that are so bottom up, I really suggest you to grab a bag and hold it, especially if the indicators are super oversold, especially MACD below 0 and there is a cross, you know. Anyways, what else I wanted to check? So I just wanted to give you an overview of the situation. Let's go back to BTC. Let's go check some of the chart I already made, because you know, you guys know that I'm pretty honest with my chart. You know, I'm human too. I make my mistakes. And plus, we are in trading analysis. Trading analysis is not 100% kind of a thing. As you know, most of the channel promise you there's no 100% call in this market. So keep that in mind and don't get, you know, fooled around. Anyways, by looking at my BTC chart, I have lots of ideas, because you know, as I show you, I try to see all the indicators and see, oh, maybe this indicator is working, maybe this pattern is working, maybe this and that, and I have a few ideas. If I have more than 3 ideas that are bullish, I try to see the similarities between those charts and I may make a better prediction. But you know, I play around with the chart as my patterns, you know, my harmonic patterns that, oh, this one, let's see what happens here. 3 hours. Of course, this pattern didn't drop at all, but this can be bigger, you know. This A point can be the C point and so on. So of course, then I will have to modify this one. But if I want to adjust my pattern, I don't know where it's going to arrive, but if it arrives at the Fibonacci level, that top point in my A would be that one, okay? And then, of course, I will have to change all my Fibonacci levels to adjust this pattern and so on. So we still might see some kind of a pattern like this, okay? But of course we have to see where BTC arrives. Of course, it's hard to trace harmonic pattern when you have just one only spike. You need to adjust them while you go. Harmonic patterns are used not to calculate, how can I explain this, like not to see where the correction will arrive, but we want to try to find an harmonic pattern to decide if the trend will go down or up. And in this case, where we have a bearish cyber, and let's say we were at this level right there, and we see the trend that might make this kind of pattern right there, we will probably trace pattern, check our Fibonacci levels, and we might think, oh, you know what, this can be a cyber. If he arrives at 78 Fibonacci, as you know the requirements are, we might see a drop. So in that case, I will short BTC, okay? So that's why we use harmonic pattern pretty much, or maybe, you know, some user might use that differently, but that's how I kind of use them. So in that case, if reach 78%, in that case we will see a drop and so on, you know. In this case, this was a bearish crab, and after the bearish crab we had a big a small drop, and then we pumped again. Remember, after we analyze those harmonic patterns, we always have to draw a Fibonacci, and the Fibonacci will tell us how much it can drop. Okay, it can drop to 23, it can drop to 38, it can drop to 50, 61, and so on. There is no really a rule for that. So even though I trace this crab, it doesn't mean these things will go down until here, okay? You know, and now this pattern, I'm gonna wait and see. I just wanted to try, right? Play around and see if I could guess something. But right now, of course, I'm gonna wait and see what's happening here. Now, let's go take a look closer. BTC, what's doing? Of course, it's doing this bearish flag. Let's go to our clean chart. Is this? Yeah. Use our clean chart. Remove all drawing tools. Moving averages. So it can be a rising wedge, can be a channel. Always take in consideration both, because sometimes we see a rising wedge that it breaks down and it stopped right where a channel stopped. A channel support was there. So in this case, if you want to just connect those two lines, and we want to connect, let's see if I can connect few here. So there will be a rising wedge. Of course, it's a bearish pattern. Let's see if I can connect this red candle here. We have more confirmation, so that could be something, right? But in the other end, this could be a channel. Could break up as it did before, I think. I don't remember where, but it broke up. Some bearish flag. Was this, I think? Well, this is a little pattern that, you know, we were looking at. In this case, there was some kind of a flag here, like a bearish flag, but it broke up. You know, that's good to see BTC going against the rule. But what I'm looking here, I'm looking for channels too. Channels that I can draw by the support, so I can trace this line and go back up and see what I see. And this channel doesn't look great because I don't have too many resistance I can connect. I can connect those two, 1 and 2, and still cheating a little bit, but I'm still inside the candle. So you know, I can leave it there and see if this pattern breaks, if it arrives here or not, and it can bounce down. Or I can trace some other channels. Logarithmic scale doesn't tell me too much. Connect those resistance. That's not a great one. But you know, different ideas, guys. Like I can connect 1 and 2, and I can connect 1 and 2. Not a big fan of this one, but you know, I've seen this happening over again. This falling wedge can break and arrive here, you know, no problem, and then bounce back on. Of course, Fibonacci can help us here. Draw a full Fibonacci of the pattern and see what's happening here, right? As you can see, right here, there was a Fibonacci level 38. That's why it bounced off. Then it didn't drop below because it was forming a falling wedge, and so on. Okay, so lots of things to look at. Let's check the indicators, see what they said. Don't tell me too much at this level. Yeah, not too much to see here. Just this falling wedge we have to have under control. 8344, you know, we're going up, that's for sure. See some previous resistance here, so we're breaking this level right now. We break that level, we have this level, we have some resistance there, and so on. Okay, Yeah, as far as right now, I'm just looking this falling wedge and see where it's gonna break. That's what I'm looking for. If it break up, I may modify it and put a channel. If it breaks down, I want to see where, if it arrives at my 23 Fibonacci retracement and bounce off of that. Because if it arrives there, if it breaks and it hits there and goes back up, probably my pattern will change. What? To a channel. Okay? Something like that. Which will still be a bearish flag. And bearish flag break down at some point. When they change the trend, they go down. But you know, it's hard to tell, you know, it's not an 100% thing, okay? Those upward channel, they come from a bullish trend, can break up sometimes, as BTC did while he was on a bullish run before December. BTC was breaking up every single uptrend channel, and it was impressive because people, traders were like charting those channels, but it kept breaking up every single time. Breaking up, like those channels, you're breaking up channels. You couldn't stop until, you know, a certain point where, you know, you reached the peak and MACD was like to the cloud. Of course, we were going to expect a big correction there. Now let's check some other chart that I did before. Some of my studies, you know, we still have this idea. Probably it's kind of over. You know, I was looking for a bearish Elliott pattern as it did previously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You know, I don't know if it, you know, it can happen or not, but for sure that can be something to look for. ABC might be this one. So we need to break, of course, the logarithmic scale, and we need to break 61% Fibonacci in order to party. I mean, 61% Fibonacci of this Fibonacci traced from there, right? Or of course, if traced from here, traced from here, we still have time to go up, right? And if we trace from here, we are almost there. So we need to break the 78 Fibonacci, go back up. So it's not an easy task, you know that. Like, trading analysis is pretty complicated, but you know, if you have a basic knowledge of it, you can, you know, start to enjoy your trading analysis a bit and start to see things. Let's go check XBT. Yeah, this was the huge channel that I traced, and I talked about in the channel right there. You know, a few people trace falling wedge, but you know, if I trace all those lines, to be honest, I don't see any falling wedge there. I connect those lines. I like the channel. Anyway, it's breaking, so this chart was pretty good. Didn't arrive down here because remember we had a 365 moving average there, or this smoothed 200. What I got here I got some other harmonic patterns. These were just playing around with those. This is my flag on the 1 hour chart. And that's my harmonic pattern. Yeah, so this is the situation at the moment. Let's go check coin market cap a little bit, see what we see in the market cap. You can see something. 3 months, no, 1 year. If it has a line here, it looks like it's breaking, but for sure we had a nice pump there. How many? 335 in like 7 days. We went from 265 to 335, you know, so that's like about 60 billion. So that's pretty impressive. And the altcoin markets looks pretty good too, and this is pretty much what we see in all the coins. So scenario is pretty positive right now. Let's go check this is the dominance of BTC, and as you can see, BTC is dropping. Now, this is overall, of course. Let's check 1 year. What we see, we had a BTC pump, now it's dropping, so the market capitalization is dropping on BTC, and the altcoins, which is this gray line here, is kind of raising. So that's a nice thing to see. When, you know, BTC drops, altcoins goes up. That means lots of money is moving from BTC to altcoins, and this is why altcoins are pumping so much those days. And you can see at this level right here where BTC was going up and altcoins were going up. That's, you know, when we see BTC and altcoins go up at the same time, that's, you know, when the new money comes into the market. The cash comes to the market, so new cash come into crypto, and the money will be split into altcoins, into bitcoins, and in the overall market. But in stable market, we see, of course, the opposite. When BTC drops, altcoin pump. Okay, this was the stable market, you know, crashing a little bit, but not, you know, in a huge correction as we've seen in the last 3 months. But some coins here. We'll go back to the main chart. Probably we have all green. The top 100. This should be pretty green. EOS is red. So it's another green day at the moment. All chart bum going up. You know, I hope it's not just a bull trap. I just hope that, because, you know, if we don't break the resistance, oh my god, we're gonna go down to 3K for sure. So if you have BitMEX, this is the time to load some money into it. And if you don't have BitMEX because you're from US, you can trade leveraging not that much, but, you know, up to probably 3 times on Kraken or Poloniex. Oh no, sorry, Poloniex, Bitfinex, right? Yeah, Bitfinex has the leverage thing. So what else to talk about? I just wanted to give you, you know, the situation right here. Remember that if we break that level, that could be terrible for altcoins. That's something I have to say, because we've seen happening many times. If we break the level, we probably see a huge pump of BTC. And the huge pump of BTC is not just done by new cash coming into the market, but it's even made. And why pump so much? Not because money is coming from fresh from outside crypto, that's true for sure. But even though, because people sell their altcoins into BTC, they sell altcoins and they sell into BTC to catch the BTC pump. And in that case, most of the time altcoins crash. So that's another things I'm aware of, and I've seen happening so many times. In one full day we can see a crash of altcoins up to 30%, even sometimes 40. So that's something scary that we need to consider. That's why it's important at that level, when we're almost to break, to get out some altcoins, take some profit out, put stop loss in, and so on. Of course, stop loss will go in BTC, so when you go to BTC you need to be able to move your BTC in USD or USDT in a safe place. Can you chart one? Sorry, I was too focused on the chart. One chain I posted on the channel. That's where I think it's happening. There is an ABC correction. Oh, you guys got me now. Okay, I'm gonna show you just one time. This is what I post in the premium. I post some targets and some entries. Because I'm doing the live, I apologize for the premium right now, but this is the last time I do it, giving the targets to the free channel too. But what I'm looking at here, of course, I called sell one when it reached my 361% Fibonacci, as he did here in the previous spike. He pumped up to 361% Fibonacci extension, and he did the same for this spike. That's why I sold it at this level, and I of course find an Elliott pattern completed, and usually Elliott pattern is followed by ABC correction. ABC correction can arrive to 4, can arrive to 2, we don't know where, but I like to see the sides of it. What I mean by that if I trace an Elliott wave that it's wide 2 days every spike, probably the correction to A, B, C will be the wide. So some traders, some followers look at the ABC correction on 2-hour chart, and of course there is one, and for sure it is an ABC correction right there, right? But that's the ABC correction of this Elliott pattern. Remember, every single Elliott has possibly another Elliott pattern hide into it. So this ABC is the the correction of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this small Elliott. Okay, if we look at Elliott on Google, we can see an idea what Elliott looks like. And you know, that's an idea. C kind of around between 2 and 4 in this case, but it's not always like that. You know, we need to check so many things, so many Fibonacci, so many resistance, support. They can be flat. Okay, so in this case though, I traced this ABC, but this was part of this one. Okay, so the C arrives between 4 and 2. And as you can see right now, it's forming a bearish symmetrical triangle, okay, which is a bearish flag in this case, okay, as you can see from the black line here. So this one can break and arrive up to 50% or 161% of the last spike. So that's why I trace my ABC correction a little bit bigger by looking at 4-hour chart. But looking at 4-hour chart, I don't see any green candles, in this bearish trend. So that's why I trace A up to there, and then it was a huge spike to B, which I pretty much hit right on. I didn't hit A, you know, perfectly on, but of course it was here. But you know, that's very hard to guess. Now, as you can see, we might break down at this level and go down here, and in that case we might see a pump coming from there. But you know, that's why it's not as safe for me to buy at this level. Probably would be safe, not safe, but you know, would be a good risk to buy right here, this level, if it breaks this pattern. But you know, the safest zone for me to enter is when it breaks all-time high, because there is no more resistance, and in that case we might go really up. That's it for one. Now let's go check last things I wanted to check. Now if I can see the 2014 this chart. No, I had to go Bitfinex or Bitstamp. 2014, you know, we have some similarities that we have to look for. 2014 was right here. Log scale. 2014, you know, that's a chart that I'm really looking closely, because it might be a copy, a fractal of the one that's happening right now. You know, there was a break after 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and it went back up, but then boom, 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 it failed again, went down. How much? From the top down, it went down 86%. So that's something that can happen for sure. But you know, before that, I'm looking for the break. The break will be huge. Then you know, we can look if it's not gonna make it. It will be a bull trap or not. You know, from here up to there, we are down 70%, and the 70% is pretty much the crash that we are right now. That's about the same amount, I guess. From here to there is 71%. Okay, so the same amount, it crashed the same amount. So these things can go up to 12, 13K and then go down. We don't know. That's why we need to keep watching it. Keep watching, learn, study, learn some trading analysis and so on. Because fundamental analysis is what's gonna tell about BTC so far. It's all about politics, it's about manipulation too. You know, we need to consider lots of aspects. Neblio is at the bottom. Is at the bottom too. Everything is at the bottom. Didn't break it yet. Let's go check a weekly chart. Okay, we can say in the weekly chart. Let's check some indicators. Right there is going back up. Not too much. Maybe 2 days chart will tell us something. This point right here, what happened? Oversold. Pretty low right now. Like we hit oversold at this level, but by looking at this chart doesn't really mean too much. Look at the one day. This is funny to watch. So look at the MACD. Look how high it was here. Here it was massive. So even here it was high, okay, and this was around 3,500. But look at how high MACD was. And what I want to show you by showing this, that if you don't know trading analysis, you might buy at this level BTC, as some of of us did, probably. Some of you who did, not me. I didn't buy a 16,000, 70,000, but FOMO was so huge here that people thought this was gonna arrive to 40K, but no way. The way to buy by looking at MACD, it's for sure this level here, the bottom at the cross, and that was 6K. And we're so low right now. We are at all-time low of MACD. So that's why it's pretty promising looking at this MACD right now. Okay. Anyways, this is what I wanted to show you, some of the situation at the moment. I'm not gonna go through anything else for the moment. Please subscribe to my channel to give some updates, to follow some updates like those in upcoming days. I'm not saying I'm gonna do a video every day, but here and there I do some overall basic idea of what the situation is. I hope you appreciate. Sorry for my English, it's not the best, but that's what you get. Subscribe, put some likes if you want. You guys can follow me on my Telegram channel or the website, Twitter, TradingView, everything. Website, cryptovince.com. And I talk to you guys in the channel. All right, thank you so much and have a good night. Bye bye.